Good morning, everybody, and a happy Tuesday morning to you. I hope your week is going well. I really just have two stories in here for you. I have some updates on the Netflix thing, very interesting information, but this is basically just two stories, and we have a lot to cover, so let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. To begin, I have to touch on some comments you guys left. Remember when I sang the song, Do You Believe in Magic? Well, people are saying I sound like Jennifer Coolidge. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I'm going to take it as a compliment. Thank you very much. And now I have to go hear what Jennifer Coolidge sounds like. All right, now really quickly, I have another update for you. HRH Chelsea on Twitter was kind enough to put up the picture you're about to see. You know, you have the up and down like and dislike buttons on YouTube. Well, for Netflix on YouTube, she now has 100,000 dislikes. Now, she also discovered by watching that either Netflix or YouTube is changing their numbers. They're removing the dislikes. Not kidding. Here's the proof of it. Now, while you're looking at the proof of it, let me just point something else out. It's being reported that Markle is demanding that the trailer be recut and put back out again, although I think that ship has sailed. It's a little too late. She's requesting the comments be turned off on the trailer. I think that's a little too late, too. That would kind of be a bitch move at this point if Netflix did that. And it doesn't really matter what they do at this point. Megan is just going to have to understand that people don't like her. She's unrelatable. Everything she does is contrived. She's fake. She's phony. People don't want to deal with her. Mainstream media is all over this, reporting on how people don't like Megan and they don't want to be, quote, spoon-fed this crap from her anymore. But we all knew that what the next thing was going to happen, right? Ta-da! She pulled out the race card. That's right. That's right. They're saying that the criticism about Megan, and it has been since she started dating Harry, it's about race. Other lifestyle influencers tend to be upper class too, but you don't hear those criticisms about them. And this sphere is usually dominated by women like Martha Stewart, Julia Child. And so to see a black woman hosting a lifestyle series, no. Really? She's out of touch. She's unrelatable. She's uninteresting. She is a liar. She ruined the Queen's final years and Philip's final years. Nobody likes her. It's got nothing to do with the color of her skin. It's all about her character. Get off the race card already. Now, to this particular subscriber of mine, yes, I'm going to watch the show. Like I told you guys before, my friend has Netflix and she lets me watch on her account. And so I will take a hit for you, just like I took a hit for you for the Polo show, and I'll let you know what goes on if you don't have the stomach for it. Now, one other quick update. This is a fabulous photo of the Marchioness of Bath. We've discussed this woman at her wedding. Her father is Nigerian. Now, people got upset because I said African American. You guys have to understand that in the United States, it is drilled into our heads that anybody of color is African American. That's what we are politically correctly supposed to say. African American, African American. Okay, she's not. She's Nigerian. She's in the UK, but she looks lovely. And I love the fact that her father wore traditional Nigerian clothing to her wedding. Fabulous. Okay, let's move on to one of our stories. You all remember when that picture of Archie was accidentally released and then pulled down immediately? And what they're saying now is that it's a security scare because Super Private Royal Harry was raging because that picture of Archie was put up. You know, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Who here believes for 1 second that that picture was accidentally released? This is absolutely no different than his demands that somebody be arrested in New York or he's going to make a major complaint. His security case is coming up. He needs something to be done. This is just going to be used to bolster his security case. That's what this is. And also to help distract from the failure of his Netflix show and the backlash of Meghan's Netflix show. We know how this works. We've seen them do it before. If you're talking about this, then you're not talking about that. You guys understand? This was not released accidentally. All right, let's move on to our big story for today. This story is actually quite sad. It literally made me tear up as I was reading it. Meghan Markle's father Thomas Markle Sr., because remember there's a junior and a senior, has announced that he would like to live out his final years, quote unquote, in peace. And so he is leaving. Now, he was living, we know, in Mexico, but he's decided to start a new life abroad because he's looking for, as he said it, kinder people. That's his rental above, which is now empty. Now, the young woman who wrote this article said that she was with Thomas Markle this whole past week while he packed up his entire house. What this woman reported seeing is what most parents have. It's stuff that I have. Your children's school reports. And he had Megan's school reports that said she was a child who constantly demonstrated effort and was active in classroom discussions. He's got pictures of her feeding ducks and playing crazy golf and laughing at their fishing trips. We've shown you all pictures of these. Now, the woman said these pictures could have come from any family album, which is something that she said struck her as sad, as Thomas Markle very carefully packed up the only memories he now has of Meghan Markle. He put his photos in a plastic bag for protection and then into boxes for wherever it was that he was going to be going next. She reports that he used to call her Megsy when she was a baby, and he would rock her to sleep to the sound of the refrigerator. Well, I've done that with my kids as well. Now, she told him, you're very brave at the age of 80 to start over somewhere. And he said, and I'm quoting, "I'm ready for a change. I have felt stuck in a rut for some time, and I'm ready to meet new people and experience some kindness." God, that just rips your heart to shreds. Now, on the table, apparently, he also has videos of Meghan's first wedding to Trevor Engelson, who we know she married in 2011 and then divorced in 2015 or 14, I'm sorry. And Mr. Markle said that he really liked Trevor and said, "I don't think he ever understood why she dumped him." He is looking, when asked where he's might going, he's considering options in Southeast Asia. He said he traveled to that part of the world when he was a young man. He said the people there are kind, welcoming, respectful to older people. It's a place of culture. It's a place of beauty. Well, maybe I should go visit there. He also said that in Southeast Asia, the medical care is good. You can live reasonably cheaply, and the food is healthier. And that it's a more peaceful place. He said, "I'm 80 years old. I don't know how much longer I have left, and I want whatever time I have to be peaceful with none of the awful drama of recent years." Now, keep in mind that Thomas Markle's house was 250 miles from Harry and Meghan's mansion. But of course, Thomas Markle's never been invited to that house, ever. Now, keep in mind that Meghan's new Netflix trailer is all about love and family. With love, Meghan. How can you do that when you won't even speak to your ailing father? He's never met Harry because Harry didn't even do the right thing and go to Thomas Markle in person and ask permission to marry his daughter. Yeah. Now, Thomas Markle has said he's come to accept the idea that he probably will never meet his grandchildren, and that, but for him, and this is with any parent, the door always remains open. Meghan Markle is too obtuse to realize that if this man dies without them reconciling or without him meeting the grandchildren, her reputation will be so far down in the toilet. It's all anybody is going to talk about for the rest of her life. And in case you're unaware, Thomas Markle is a 3-time Emmy winner. He was making a 6-figure salary in the 1990s. He also worked through the night because Meghan got ballet classes, dance classes, private acting classes. She went to private school from kindergarten upwards, then went to Immaculate Heart School in LA, then Northwestern University in Illinois. Thomas Markle paid for all of that. We all remember when Meghan Markle stood up and told the speech about how she paid for herself through loans and work-study programs to get through college, only to have to admit later on that she lied. It's like she's trying to cut her father completely out of her life. She won't admit that her father helped her get her first job either. And who can forget when she sent her 5 friends to People magazine to talk about the letter she sent him because he held on to it for 6 months and didn't release it. So she had her friends malign him in public to create this big scenario. That's when we found out she lied to a court of law. Remember that? She has tried repeatedly to turn public opinion against Thomas Markle. I got to be honest, it hasn't worked. And as for all of the stuff in his house, this man has held on to those memories. He has everything from graduations, concerts, school musicals, playbills, black and white images of Meghan that he shot himself to help her land her first speaking role on Married with Children and the game show Deal or No Deal, I might add. And these are the appearances that launched her career. So basically, he's also fully responsible for her entire career. Everything this woman has, everything, is given to her by her father. He still has all of her birthday cards, her Christmas cards, the writing on it that supposedly is calligraphy, which, we know is not. Most of you may not know that Meghan Markle actually demanded of Thomas Markle Sr. that he stop talking and having anything to do with Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha. And he goes, how could I do that? They're my children from my first marriage. Who would ever agree to that? Nobody would ever agree to that. We know about the lawsuit between Samantha Markle and Meghan Markle having to do with the absolute abject lies that were told on the Oprah show. And you guys already know I've debunked all of this, so there's no point in going through all that again. He also, by the way, says Meghan still blames him for not going to her wedding in 2018. He then pulled out a drawer for this woman with all of the medical records showing that when Harry and Meghan claimed a car was waiting at his house to drive him to Los Angeles to get on the flight to London, he was actually in a hospital being treated for his heart issues. He was then transferred to a hospital in the United States, and he had 2 stents inserted into his heart. This man is so full of grace because he said in the article that he wished Meghan no ill will and that his dream is that one day he could bring the whole family together like a normal family. He also was incredibly grateful to King Charles for taking Meghan down the aisle. He says, I'm a grandfather. He's King of England, but he's also a grandfather. He's also loves the UK people and Dan Wooten for all of the love and support. He said, the British people have been so kind to me. I'd like to thank them for their kindness and support. We all know that also since the 2 heart attacks, Thomas had a devastating stroke, and it was Thomas Markle Jr. who took care of his father. Meghan Markle never once called him, texted him, sent him an email, anything to check on him. She's completely blocked him out. Now, for those of you who may live under a rock and may not know, this entire thing started because some pictures were taken of Thomas Markle Sr. around where he lived, exercising, reading books on the UK, looking at an internet cafe at pictures of Meghan and Harry. And then it came out that the entire thing was staged. And that he accepted money for these photos. Now, do I think that was not a nice thing to do? Yes, I think it was not a nice thing to do. But how many times has Meghan Markle staged photos with the paparazzi? And how many times has Thomas Markle already apologized for doing this? He must have apologized at least 20 times publicly, on TV, in print, in writing. I mean, what more does she want from him? But Meghan's the kind of person, if you cross her once, she cuts you out of her life and she doesn't look back. And the fact that she's able to do that to her own father, who gave her everything that she has, just shows what a cold, callous, heartless person she is. That's why this Netflix show is going to fail. She is not authentically kind. You guys should be aware that in the article, as I've already told you, it said that while they're eating and drinking and he's sorting through his possessions, the stuff he didn't want, he burned. Now, I think that's the responsible thing to do. If he didn't burn it, somebody would go through the trash and pull out God knows what. But there are people on Twitter going, ooh, that's sneaky. He's burning things. I think he's had his privacy invaded enough. I think it's a very smart thing for him to burn those things that he doesn't want, things that are very personal and private. So at the end of the article, the reporter that was with him was there when he closed the door to the home, which was now empty, and she gave him and Thomas Markle Jr. a ride to the Los Angeles International Airport. She waved them goodbye. They went off. They never told anybody specifically where they're going because maybe they want some peace. I mean, he did say that's what he's looking for. I have to be honest, I hope he finds it. Bless this man. He's been through so much because of Megan. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up to help me with my algorithm. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, my Amazon wish list, and a physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.